just-released stamp set, Some Bunny I Love. The sketch features a window, so I'm also going to use the window die to showcase the adorable sleeping bunny. I've trimmed 2 panels. The larger one is a sheet of Tim Holtz watercolor cardstock, and it will cover the card base. The front panel is white linen cardstock, and I'll be cutting the window from that. The first thing I do is die cut the window and set it aside. Now I'll stamp my images on the watercolor cardstock and heat emboss them. I create a quick mask for the bunny at the same time to protect it from the stars I'll stamp in the background. I use sparkle embossing powder for a dreamy look and set it with my heat tool. Then I trim out the mask and place it over the bunny and prepare to stamp the moon and stars on the bedroom wall. I hold the window panel up to the images to make sure the proper areas show up. When I'm happy with the position of the moon and stars, I close the lid to pick up the stamp and ink it up. Once again, I heat emboss it, and now I'm ready to watercolor the panel. For the smaller areas, I just use a wet brush to pick up color and add it to the image. For the larger areas, I usually use a clean brush to add water to the panel first. Then I let the water do most of the work once I add color. While I let the watercolor panel dry, I die cut the trim for the window and stamp the sentiment under the windowsill. Just like the images, I stamped with VersaFine Onyx Black pigment ink and heat embossed with sparkle embossing powder. After that, I adhere the trim to the window with glossy accents. Next, I adhere the watercolor panel to the card base. Instead of using strips of foam tape, I prepare a fun foam layer so my window panel will have good solid support. I mark where the window opening is so I can trim out a square to reveal the bedroom scene. I'm ready to assemble the card, but it feels like it needs a little something extra. I decide to add some micro beads in colors that coordinate with the watercolored scene. This little veil at the top of the window will be a sort of hanging curtain or window decor. It adds enough to the card so I feel that it's complete. I add little dots of glossy accents to the area I want the micro beads to stick to. Then I remove the top panel so I can add a bit more glue to the area around it so the micro beads cover enough of the area underneath the edge of the window. I sprinkle the beads one color at a time. I have my card sitting on a lid with an edge to contain the beads so I can dump off the excess each time. The micro beads look so pretty. Now I can adhere the top panel to the card, and it's done. Thanks so much for joining me at the Wednesday Sketch Challenge this week. I hope to see you again next week. Please refer to the supply links below if you're interested in any of the products